I'm here with Adam Smith, who is beginning his 5th year as head coach of the Cougar baseball team. And we're less than a week from getting a brand new season underway as the Cougars will take off for Florida at the end of this week and play a week's worth of games down there to start 2015. Adam, your team is coming off back-to-back 39-7 seasons, and between the last 2 years, 5 wins in the NCAA regionals. But I know that, well, as early as the final out of that last game last year, you and your team, there's only one goal in mind.
Yeah, there's one goal in mind, Jim, and that's to get to the World Series. And, you know, we've been on the doorstep the last 2 years, and, you know, expectations around here this year are at an all-time high. And we can't wait to get going. This is the first year we have literally not stepped outside and thrown a baseball yet, so that is a concern. The weather has been brutal, but it's been brutal for everybody. So I think a lot of people, you know, are having the same problems where they've been inside, cooped up, and you know, I know our guys are raring to go and can't wait to get outside in Florida. We just looked at the weather. It looks gorgeous out there in the 70s and 80s. And, yeah, we can't wait to get out of here, Jim, to be honest with you, with this weather. So, again, back-to-back 39-win seasons have been great and all, but, you know, we're looking at this team this year, and we're ready to play right now.
All right. Well, let's talk about this year's team and start with your coaching staff. Done just a little bit of tweaking to it for this year.
Yeah, you know, Mike Stosky returns as our pitching coach and base running coordinator. And then we added Dusty Napoleon this year. He's from Western Illinois. He coached there for a few years. He's been a great addition to help with our catchers and our hitters. Sean Miller returns. And then Kyle Huber, who was runner-up for Player of the Year in the conference last year for us, he's going to help us out as a student assistant. And I like the staff a lot. They bring a lot to the table. Each position is really taken care of. And again, I couldn't ask for more out of a coaching staff. They bust their tail on a daily basis and want the best for our kids, and that's all you can ask for as a head coach, is that your staff is working their butts off, and you know, these kids are really reaping the rewards of that because I feel like we're more prepared than we ever have been this year.
All right. Let's start by talking about your pitching this year. And you know, it crossed my mind the other day that there are not too many programs that can have the loss of starters like Dan Kluss and Ryan Thorson, not to mention one of the top closers in the country in Steve Cougars. And yet your pitching staff for this year still remains a formidable strength. Yeah,
I mean, as an offensive guy, I actually hate saying this, but our pitching staff you know, really is a strength of this team. We brought some young guys in that are just off the charts with talent, and we also have a lot of returners back, which is a great problem to have because we go out to Florida. You know, there's only one guy on our plan to get 2 starts, and that's C.J. Sellner as of right now. So we're gonna go 6, 7 starters right out of the chute, see how they react, see how they feel out there, especially in the warm weather, and then obviously come to conference we have to get to 4 starters, set up our bullpen, and do all that. But like you said, you're never going to replace a Dan Kluss, a Ryan Thorson, and Steve Cougars. It's almost impossible. But you know, to get Eric Palmer back this year from Tommy John surgery is a huge plus for us. And then those other guys are a year older. You know, C.J. Sellner, Kurt Kampema, Cody Caballero, and then our young guys, which we'll talk about in a second here. You know, like we talked about, our pitching staff is definitely a strength of our team.
And I feel safe in saying there are not a lot of programs out there that can throw 3 left-handed starters, the quality of Sellner, Kampema, and Caballero.
Yeah, those 3. You know, we've been built on left-handed pitching around here for a long time, and that continues this year. We don't even really know what we're going to do with our force. If Palmer's healthy, which he definitely looks like it, and he's raring to go, we don't know exactly what we're going to do with our rotation. If we're going to have just 2 lefties and move one of them to the pen just so we have that lefty like a Kevin Powell that's been such a force for us for years out of the bullpen. That's a lot of discussion the coaching staff has to have before conference begins. But we're going to let it all play out in Florida. They'll all get starts. Cody's actually going to be in relief early in the week, and then he's going to start later in the week, which because he is so flexible, he's so versatile, we can really use him in different ways early, and then come conference time, figure out our top 4 and go from there with our pen.
All right. Let's look at some of the other positions then. Let's start with catchers. Will Randerson is back. He's been a regular part of the line for a few years, but you've got some new young catchers in camp that are going to make it very interesting.
Yeah, having Will back is great. Having a 5th-year senior behind the plate is just a fantastic thing for us. But we do, like you just said, have 2 freshmen that are just outstanding players and people and are battling every day. One is Kevin Coppin. He's a left-handed hitter, and you don't find too many left-handed catchers with the pop that he has. And then the other one is Brady Roberts. He's a right-handed hitting catcher that we're very excited about. So those 2, along with Blake Zerkowski back there, we have 4 very, very good catchers that we trust, and you know, most teams don't have that. And you know, after Will's done, especially this year, those other 2 freshmen, along with Blake, we're set up behind the plate for a long time. And we also have a couple other ones coming in that are fantastic, already set up for next year. So our catching position for a long time is going to be a lot of fun for us to watch them develop and be the players that we think they can be.
All right. Taking a look at the infield, a lot of familiar faces there. First base, you have both Thomas Gear and Will Polly available. Your middle infield is intact with Richie Santarelli at second and Steve Zabricki at short. Basically, the only change is going to be over at third base.
Yeah, third, we have a great competition going on over there. We have a newcomer in Mitch Wilson. We have Doug Matthews, who's returning, Jeff Von Moser, who's a transfer, and then a Peter Arbov, who's a freshman. So we have 4 guys that we all think can play, and that's gonna. I think that'll take care of itself out in Florida. We also have some versatile players that can move. We have a Cody Rupp that came in at short that if we need to, we can move him or Steve the third pending something happening, but I don't think that'll be needed. And then, you know, at first we also have Brent Sporer along with Will Polly and Thomas Gear, Brian Pichardo, and then Adam Schmidt, who's going to pitch a lot for us. He actually plays some first base too. And then at second, you know, Richie comes back, which is great. And then you have a Brendan Klein, Andrew Kroenke, and a Kevin Garcia backing him up. So our infield is old, like you said, which is good. We're experienced. We should know what we're doing, which is a good thing. I'm just excited to see them, you know, get on dirt because, like we said, we haven't been outside yet. See them run around, get dirty, and you'll turn a lot of double plays. I think this group can really do that, help our pitching staff a lot, playing good defense. That's been a key to our success the last couple of years is playing really good defense for the most part, and that's got to continue for us to be at the success we want to get to. So hopefully, you know, they do it infield-wise. Defensively, it's a big, you know, struggle for us that we make sure that we have to make the plays for our pitchers. That's the biggest concern that I have right now, and you know, I think we'll do okay.
All right. Outfield is largely intact, although with the loss of Dan Eichholzer to graduation, there's been a little shuffling around in the outfield. Explain what we're going to see out there.
Yeah, we're going to move our All-American Carlos Oliveira, who played third last year. We're going to move him to left. And he played there all fall and looked very comfortable out there, which is a big plus for us. So he's going to, you know, be in left field. And last year, left field was a little bit of a revolving door. We played a bunch of guys out there, and no one really stepped up and took the job. And this year, moving Carlos out there, I think someone's got the job, and it's going to be pretty tough to take it from him. Center field and right field, there's basically 3 guys right now battling for those 2 spots. You got Colin Bethron, you have Danny Dulce, and then you have freshman newcomer Joe Silva. And those 3 are all going to play. It's as simple as that. And then you have guys behind them that are, you know, very good. Kevin Garvey's back, and then you have Joey Anderson and a newcomer Cliff Krause. So, you know, I like our outfield. I like our depth out there. We have some good matchup situations with righty-lefty stuff. But again, I think our outfield is very deep and very talented this year. We can all run, we can all throw, and they can all hit the ball. So it's a very exciting competition that's out there, but I think it'll all work itself out.
All right, let's talk for just a moment about your batting order, and certainly it could go any number of ways right now, depending on how some of those position battles come out. But just glancing at it on paper, it looks like you pretty much have it all. You've got a great leadoff man in Steve Zabricki, who did a marvelous job there last year. You've got some solid hitters in the middle of the order. Certainly Carlos Oliveria hit .398 last year. And it seems like you've perhaps added some power to the lineup as well this year. Is that correct?
Yeah, you know, as of right now, we're going to start a couple freshmen, and they have some serious pop. And most teams, you know, that have been as successful as us, it's tough for freshmen to correct the lineups. Well, these freshmen, they really get after it. We don't even call them freshmen anymore. They're newcomers. They've been part of our program for almost a year now. They're not freshmen anymore. We tell them that all the time. Age is not a big deal around here. We don't care how old you are. The best players are going to play. And our order is, I think, very versatile, very righty-lefty. We're gonna be a matchup concern for a lot of people, which is good when we go right, left, down the order. And that's a huge key to our program. It's a huge key to our offensive success. We added more speed, we added more power, and that's going to be tough for people. You know, last year in the regional, I thought we struggled offensively, seeing some very, very good pitching. We made it a concerted effort to get better offensively this year with our recruiting and bring in more speed, more power, and I think we did that. And then, you know, those guys that were younger last year have grown up a year. You know, a Will Polly, a Brent Spohr, those type of guys in the middle of our order, bailing out for the DH spot. That'll, you know, hopefully they come in, provide us some more power off the bench if they're coming off the bench or in the lineup. Provide us that spark that we need in the middle. That is the key, I think. You know, to replace a Kyle Huber who just drove in huge runs for us last year in the 5 spot. Whoever's batting 5th, that's a huge, huge key for us this year because you have a Thomas Gear batting 4th and a Carlos. Those guys are going to get on base. That 5 hitter's got to produce for us, driving big runs along with our 6 hitter and whoever that is, because I haven't made that decision yet. But that's a huge, huge spot for us, that 5 hole to replace a Kyle Huber, and you know, hopefully we can do that this year. All
right. Adam, it's going to be a fun conference race this year, and we'll certainly talk about that more towards the end of March. But let's get a word or two from you about this early season schedule for the Cougars. Not only is there the Florida trip next week, but the following weekend is going to be a couple days in Arizona where you're going to face a couple of the top teams in the country. Let's just start with next week. What are some of the challenges that you're going to see in Florida?
All of them, to be honest with you. We set this up, and we went to Florida this year because of the competition. Our spring break's early. Arizona didn't have the amount of D3 teams that we needed to go to play. So we started this year, we talked as a staff, and Florida, a bunch of good teams are there, so we decided to go there. We opened up with a 30-some-win team in St. John Fisher, and they are really, really good. So we're gonna see firsthand right out of the chute here what kind of team we have. And you know, whatever happens early, I think we're going to develop. Our kids work so hard, and I think everyone around the school sees how hard our kids work. And we're going to get better as the year goes on, for sure. But our competition, like you said, St. John Fisher, you got Wartburg, we have Gwyneth Mercy for a doubleheader. Then we go, you know, we play at Wheaton, Mass, and we play Mount Union. I mean, our schedule is just absolutely loaded. Suffolk out east. We asked them, we want to play everybody good. Whoever's good there, we want to play. And the schedule maker definitely obliged us. So we'll see. I'm excited for our guys. We want to play the best around here. We say it anywhere, anytime, and that's who we want to play. So competition level is going to be great. I can't wait to see our guys get out there and battle and see what we have early, because it's going to be a definite test. And then we fly out to Arizona and play 2 top 10 teams in St. Thomas and Linfield, and then play 2 other tough games out there. So our first 12 varsity games are very, very tough. There's no other way around it. They are very, very tough. But we just want to go and play good ball. We just talked about it last night. We want to play 1 inning at a time, 1 game at a time. Don't start thinking about the future. We just want to play every game, every inning, and play our tails off. And whatever happens, happens. You know, we obviously want to win games, but we want to do it the right way, play hard, and everyone who plays us is going to know they're in for a battle every game.
All right. Well, we can hardly wait for things to get rolling, and we just want to remind our viewers that we will have coverage of the Cougars games in Florida on our website, cucougars.com. We'll try to get as many post-game interviews with Coach Smith as we can during the week. Adam, what is there left to say except best of luck on what looks to be another fun season, and let's go make that next step this year.
I hope so, Jim. Thanks a lot.